You're going to jail.
What? Why?
I'm dropping the charges on them.
I'm telling you right now, you're making a huge mistake. It was them.
No, it was you. And your co-conspirators, they cut a deal.
What?
Yeah.
I signed that deal first.
If Maurice hadn't come in here trying to confess.
You see?
No. He tried to confess to protect Sabrina.
She probably threatened him.
You really are a piece of shit.
Well, folks, D.A. Burke. I mean, what was it? Was it last week? Episode 1 of the season, where I said, man, this guy showed up for like 5 minutes or less. Yeah, less than 5 minutes. He was able to see completely through this entire Q bank robbery bull crap and wanted it shut down ASAP. And then in this week's episode, Q hobbled his wounded behind into the jail. The DA and Logan having that back interrogation room, and that was a wrap. One of the main reasons why I personally enjoyed this week's episode, the DA held nothing back. He called out Q for all of his nonsense. He got on Logan's case as well. And the last thing we see is Q being dragged off to jail. Now, look, you know me. I'm always one to talk about how sometimes things are rushed and, handled too quickly without a proper resolution. But sometimes I give a waiver. Yeah, I give a pass. I'm like, we didn't need to see any more Q. We've seen more than enough. We had Maurice threatening him. You had him, popping up on him all the time, just like Amanda did to Professor Cannon in The Haves and the Have-Nots. Then, of course, you had Sabrina making an emotional, heartfelt plea to Q at the airport. And while I praise the acting in that scene, it just felt unnecessary to me. It's like, Q, I forgive you. And it's like, but, I mean, do you really, though? Because nothing's really happened yet. Yes, you did go to jail, but the evidence does point in your favor. And thankfully, we have a common sense factor. D.A. Burke come into play and shut this thing down before it went any further. So, honestly, I do feel like this was the end for Q. He's gone. I think about it, at the beginning of the episode, Bio pretty much walked out on Sabrina and just said, make sure you and your friends show up to jail so I get my money. Show up to the court so I can get my money back. Basically, it's like, hey, Sabrina, there's no strings attached to this money, but just know that as soon as you get out of this mess, the money goes back to Bio. You and Maurice are free, and you don't have to deal with that anymore. Then when it comes to Q, the DA said, hey, you're going to jail because guess what? Your co-conspirators, they dropped dime on you. Yeah, me and you made a deal, but guess what? Your cohorts dropped dime on you before you can, set them up. And then from there, you have, and I'm pretty sure those co-conspirators had a very solid alibi in terms of, hey, you know what? We're going to tell you exactly every single detail that happened. And their stories line up better than Q's does. Because like I said, the DA was able to tell how flimsy this entire thing was. And I love that he'd shoot out Logan for just being so cavalier about it. It's like, you were willing to have 2 innocent people locked up just so you can get a promotion. It kind of, overshadows your accomplishments at the airport, which is pretty big. I mean, that was a pretty big moment when the DA had to question Logan's integrity for the job of, it was a great thing you did saving those girls and whatnot, but even I'm thinking, like, did you not really want to do it because it was the right thing to do, and you only did it because it was something that would get you a pat on the back and one step closer to a promotion. So the fact that he wants to put the icing on the cake of, you're going to drop those charges, and from there you're going to call those two. You're going to call Miss Hollins and you're going to call Maurice and then apologize. And hopefully they get their jobs back soon, which we know they will get back to work at least in season 7. But from there, yeah, I'm just glad that the whole Q thing is seemingly put to bed. Now, I will say the sad part is, like, I don't think this means Maurice and Calvin get their stuff back that was stolen from their apartment. But what can you do? That's due to their own stupidity of letting Q in the apartment for the past couple seasons anyway. But yeah, I'm just happy this storyline is put to bed. So all that's to say, thank goodness. And hopefully better things are coming in terms of storylines as the season closes up and as we get into season 7 next year. So let me know your thoughts on Q just getting chewed out. And like I said, it was so beautiful. It was just handled in like 3 minutes. And we've been dealing with this crap for like 3 seasons. This was just a great moment. Definitely one of my top moments of Sistas. Yeah, I said it. So like and subscribe, follow me on social media, and I'll catch you in the next video.